I think that's great. Well, I want to bring up something that you shared earlier with me, and it was a document, Residential Real Estate Council Mortgage Rate Affordability Index, or MRAI. Both are a little bit of a mouthful, but I
Yeah.
want you to share. What does that mean, and how is it going to help the average buyer out there?
Well, yeah, this caught my eye, and so I wanted to share it with our viewers because I thought it really hit home on really a message I've been trying to convey for a long time, that we've been trying to convey on the show, about the fact that, relatively speaking, interest rates are not as horrible as everyone would like to believe or describe. Um, so this entity, this organization, came up with this methodology to try to, I guess, bring to current people's perspective on interest rates, mortgage rates, and are they truly unaffordable or not, at least historically speaking. So the way this index works is, first of all, they looked at what's been the average mortgage interest rate for 30-year fix in the U.S. over the last 50 years. And this would be, using a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, conforming conventional loan is the type of loan we're talking about. Well, as it turns out, it's about 7.74%. Again, that's the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage in the U.S. over the past 50 years, average of 7.74. Well, this article pointed out that current mortgage rates at the time it was written, they quoted, it was about 6.74. And of course, we were lower than that when I read this article. It was about a week ago. We were more like 6 3/8. But the point is that what this index is, it's a mathematical calculation. So what you do is you take the MRAI is going to be the 50-year average rate, 7.74, divided by today's rate. And what Jeff just pulled up, I used our rate yesterday, was 6.375. So take the historical rate, divide it by the current market rate, times 100. In this case, the example, it's 121.4. What's important about that number is if it's over 100, that resulting number, that indicates that current mortgage rates are affordable, at least historically speaking. So again, here, as Jeff pointed up, scores over 100 means that rates are more favorable than the historical norm. The other thing to understand about this index and how it's used, buyers waiting for 3% to return. You're waiting for an anomaly, hard to say that word, anomaly, not reality. And now is still financially favorable to buy. I know that sounds hard to believe, but that's what this index is telling you. It's creating a new perspective as to mortgage rates, and are they really that bad or that good compared to historical averages. And what we hope to do by sharing this with you is hope that you will see the bigger picture when it comes to mortgage rates. Because, understand that, again, as we talked about earlier, home ownership accelerates building wealth compared to being a renter. Yes, you can build wealth as a renter if you do the appropriate things with your money and invest it wisely to generate a return from alternative assets and owning a home. But for the vast majority of people who don't have the discipline as a renter to do that, home ownership is what's going to accelerate yourself building wealth for you and your family. You grow equity every time you make a monthly mortgage payment. You don't do that with a rent payment. A monthly mortgage payment builds equity every single month. Home values do continue to rise. They've continued to rise through this last couple year period, despite predictions that they'll fall because of higher rates. That hasn't happened. Inventory is still relatively low. And so, again, you can take advantage of that if you get into buying a home now. And then you always have refinancing as an option after you acquire that home at current interest rate levels. Recent projections are you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, maybe a couple of years, 2 to 3 years before you see those rates low enough to do a refi. But in the meantime, you have these other benefits that you should take advantage of now and not wait any longer.